Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Is it stopped raining out there yet? Yes. James just got here via canoe and a paddle, right, James? It's, so welcome, everybody. It is 6 o'clock. We are ready to start. I would like to call this meeting to order. Dr. Sterling will not be here tonight. Just wanted to let you all know that. James, welcome. Would you like to do the prayer for us this evening? Okay, great. Thank you.
Let's all stand, please. Our gracious Heavenly Father, bless the day that you give us to live, Lord. In your name, in your leadership, in your guidance, in your city. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, agenda approval. Is there a motion for agenda approval?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda, please.
Thank you, Dave. Second, Scott. All in favor of agenda approval? Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go into reports. I hope you enjoyed our last month's update in our reporting. We're gonna go through it again. I'm going to start, to my left. Scott, do you have any updates for the community?
Other than that, we did our retreat, but you're gonna talk about that, so. I did visit out in Arizona, was out there, another city, so that, looked at their development, their redevelopment out there. Much bigger city, but got to go walk around and put some ideas back. Other than that, I have nothing else.
Do you wanna talk about anything that y'all decided via DDA on, during the retreat?
Well, and we decided on doing the gala in September. Just there's nothing really to report other than that, but thank you.
Okay. I think you guys are getting ready to, set a date for the clock.
Oh, you
Is
want
that
me
right?
to talk about that? Yes.
Yes, please.
4/23, believe Jennifer, we agree at 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock, we're gonna do the clock?
I believe so. However, the mayor brought up a great idea, which was
She has to say great, by the way, because otherwise I'll,
yeah,
sure.
which was to actually do it the night of the DDA. So maybe let's just discuss that a little bit more.
That's fine by me.
Great, get the whole community here that night. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, be awesome. Taking this long, another week won't hurt anybody. Yep.
Okay, James, do you have anything to report this month?
I think we're in good shape. We've, had pretty good columbarium sales. We've sold four spaces in the past 2 days, so that gives us about $6,000. That's good on that, in that regard.
Do you know if they were Houston citizens?
Yeah, pretty much. But for our, our initial investment, what we got, so it's kind of slow taking off, but people will start catching on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's good?
I know this person's been waiting to tell you some updates. Tina Brown, to you, Parks and Rec, please.
All right. I'm trying not to be long-winded, but, so I've met with the Jackson County Parks and Recreation Director, and we had our retreat and discussed Parkland a little bit. Also met with, a community forester with the Georgia Forestry Commission yesterday and walked the Oak Street property, which is actually quite gorgeous. I love it. I love it. So it's 1.78 acres. It borders that creek. There would be some issues on developing it with parking and the road to it, I think, and along 332. But the Georgia Forestry Commission offers some grants to help clear invasive species, which the riverbank definitely needs that done. So that grant opens in August. So that was interesting to learn about that. but anyway, I'm a dreamer, and I kind of have this idea of a Houston orchard. After walking the property, I don't think the whole thing needs to be an orchard, but it would be very cool to have one area set aside with blueberry hedges and apple trees, low maintenance, if there is such a thing. But that may be just me dreaming, but I'd just like to have some park benches and trash receptacles and just let people go out there with their blanket and enjoy it almost unchanged from what it is now, because it is gorgeous. I've reached out to the University of Georgia Cooperative Extension Service. They have some advisory services and design ideas that I'm hoping they can help bring this together. And then the last part of the report is I just wanted to mention that we definitely need to find additional parkland. Our level of service is 5.33 acres per 1,000 residents. Right now, we have 37.229. That it does exceed the inventory that we need based on our population right now, but with all the recent annexations and rezonings and projections, we will need a total of 100.32 acres. We need to acquire about 40 more by 2029 and then another 23-ish by 2045. So we need to find this. We're 5.2 square miles, so it's a tough task. I use the tax assessor's map and try to find some stuff, and maybe we can work with the county on some things. Just doing some brainstorming.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
JJ, do you have any updates for us?
I don't have any updates today. Working on everything that was discussed in my last report. Thank you.
Dave, I know you do.
I've always got updates, yeah. Our 5-year planning, I'm excited to say that we finally completed our collection of property tax points. We collected 295 points from all the different kind of land uses that are in our city. We've also collected some of the data that we don't currently have the land uses, that we had to go outside to get some information, such as apartments and so forth. We just completed our calculator, the Excel spreadsheet for our 19.59 miles of roads, signage, and condition of the roads, and we can now put into that road format the current cost, what it's going to be in 5 years, what it's going to be in 10 years, and what it's going to be in 15 years, and literally work out where the road will be, what condition it will be, what maintenance we will need, and what the cost will be, so we can do better planning there. We just started, with the help of Brett Day, where we're going to get every sewer line, every water line, and I call them ditches, but I think they call them storm water runoff areas, along all the roads and all the free land spaces. So we will have an outline of every water, sewer, and ditch in the city. Then we're going to do the same thing where we come in and we can put a maintenance cost for that, for general maintenance, 5-year, 10-year, 15-year. The other exciting thing that we're doing, and we're getting some help from Mr. Jerry Hood, we're looking at sensors that can tell us leak detection, like you've got at your house. You get on your phone, it shows that you have a leak. And we figured if your phone can tell you got a leak, maybe we can tell you got a leak. And we're trying to hook that up, so as we put our new valves in, it will literally tell our water department that there's a leak on Main Street between this point and this point, so people don't have to call our city all the time and go, hey, did you know there's water running out? So we can go fix those and get
Is that
those
how they
going.
sound?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I called in once, yeah. And then Tiffany Wheeler, who's not up here right now, she's a very strong part of our team. Next week, Jennifer, she will start gathering all the data for where our costs are at, and she'll break it down to the finest degree that she can get to for each department, and then we will have an overall. So what we're doing here is we're generating where all the revenue is in the city, where all the cost is in the city, and then with the help of Dr. Weiss, with the help of Mark Koyman, myself, our contributors have been Mayor Martin, Jerry Hood from EMI, who's done a great job, and Brett Day from the Water and Sewer. We'll put all those together, and we'll have like an overlay of here's all your costs for current, 5, 10, and 15. Here's all your revenue coming in, and we can tell where we're going to be, what we can work on, and if we have an exposure to, we've got to tighten up, or if we've got some place where we can say, hey, we can do a little preventative stuff because we've got extra money, but it will give us a really good guide map of where we're going. we're hoping that we can get all these come together and present something to the mayor and then to the council sometime in the June timeframe of this year. That's it. Oh, one thing. I want to tell Stephen McDaniel, he's not here tonight, but we had a little bit of problem. Well, I had a little bit of problem of doing the Excel spreadsheet and the formulas, and he is an ex-IBM programmer. He finally figured it out for us, so now we have a calculator that works, but it was tough getting there. So thank you, Stephen, if you're listening.
That's nice. That's nice. I'm gonna piggyback a little bit on what Dave said. So, I was in a meeting, all the mayors were in a meeting this past Monday, regarding T-Splots. I don't know if you've heard about it or if you know anything about it, but the T is for transportation. Basically, it means, road repair, road restripping or relining. It can also be used for, Life Pass. Hold on, I have a whole list here. It was quite an extensive list. It could be used for pedestrian paths, easements, life paths, lights, roundabouts, and then there's, of course, the roads. That is coming to all the mayors for a decision, by July the 1st to get on the, ballot in November. So I'm happy to talk to you all individually about it, but this is what I can say to you right now. Had it not been for the work that Dave and the capital improvement team, which is all those people that he mentioned, said, what the work they did, I was able to go to this meeting on Monday with this incredible spreadsheet of every single road in the city of Houston and the width of the road, the length of the road, and I was also able to look the grade of the road, and the grade is something that that GDOT gives you from A to F. The Fs and the Ds obviously need help, and the Cs, according to GDOT, are acceptable roads. So with that information, I can go in and debate and rally for more money for the city of Houston. What I will tell you right now is the plan for the city of Houston is 2.3% of the T-Splosh money, which is about a couple of $1 million in 5 years. Based on what I've seen Dave prepare, we need that in 1 year. So we're gonna need that times 3 or 4. So I'm gonna go to work for you and us to try to get more of that percentage, for the city. So that's what I wanted, that's a great lead on to some of the things that I wanted to mention in my report. Also, I would like to say that, Councilmember Dave Brown and Scott Quarter and myself, we went to the county earlier this month and we got planning and zoning for dummies training by Jamie Dove. And please, Ben, please don't put for dummies in the paper. Okay, Ben? It was fabulous. We planned for an hour. We were there easily 2.5 or more hours. I mean, we could have gone on and on. It was really fabulous. I do want to send a big thank you to Jamie Duff, for allowing us to come by and pick her brain. Jennifer and I attended just Tuesday, Economic Development in Athens. We just wanted to mention that. And of course, you all know that we had our retreat last week. Thank you for those of the citizens that came and listened to part of it. So we have presentations by the DCA, which is Department of Community Affairs, our GMA, that's Georgia Municipal, and our DDA and our planning team and our water and sewer team. So it was really fabulous. You missed it, and if you weren't able to attend. Just a couple of updates for you. I don't have any update on the parking deck this month. I hope to have an update for you next month. Publix. Councilmember Dave Brown came to me and said that the public is really wanting to know some updates on when the Target's moving for opening these stores. So I'm going to try to do that for you every month. The public has now moved their potential opening to possibly October is what I've heard. Is that what you've heard also? To October. Kroger is still planning on breaking ground, by summer. In fact, Jennifer and I were on the phone with GDOT, in fact, the whole drive to Athens, to be honest with you. And, they already have all the permit requests for breaking ground for the Kroger. I would also like to say the mayor Q&A, monthly Q&As, they're really not mayor Q&As, so I just wanted to tell you that we are giving that a name change. Y'all can use your creative brains and give us names, but right now they're really community series updates. We do have a few more coming that I would like to announce, and then once we get this approved, Jen will put them, on our list. In June, I'm going to hold a community input one. I want to know what companies or what information you want, so I can get those scheduled for you. So June is you tell us what you want us to bring in for you. In July, Matt Rupel, who is the developer for Larry's Garage and the pasta restaurant, which will be right next door, he will be doing a show and tell on both of those properties. I think you guys are going to really like that. In August, we're going to have our DDA, and they're going to talk about what they're going to be doing short-term and long-term for the city. And in September, for those of you who were in, there was a gala a couple of weeks ago in Jefferson for NAMI. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's NAMI. It stands for National Association for Mental Illness. And it's really mental illness awareness. And I'm going to have those same speakers that were at that. It was fascinating. There was a 12-year-old boy who struggles with anxiety, and he created this whole company around how you can deal with the struggles. Anyway, Judge Ben Green is going to come in and talk about that. Jessica Green is going to come in and talk about that, and I'm trying to get this 12-year-old to come in and talk about that. So those are the plans for the next few months.
All right, thank you, Mayor. For this month, I just wanted to also remind you, and I wanted to thank Jen. On the agenda, if you'll see on the second page, she has started to put announcements on the page, and the first one was the mayor and council Q&A on April the 25th at 6:30 that the mayor just spoke about, and also on May the 4th, we'll have our annual spring festival that's held right here in downtown. We are actually completely booked and we have a waiting list, so that's great. It's just a one-day spring festival. But we do enjoy having it because it brings our community together. We are actually working, if you've been here for a while, you know that you've heard about the CDBG grant that we are working on for our Panther Court community behind City Hall. Just a little history of how long I've been with the city. I remember this was the first grant that I had been a part of, and I think we held a big check, Jerry Hood, in 2018, and we were really excited about it. Here we are in 2024, still working on that project. So that just kind of explains how government is slow. But we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and we are looking forward to working on that project for that street. And they are excited as well. We're going to do some improvements there, and there's 33 homes there, so we're excited to be able to help them. They have grinder pumps, and if you've ever dealt with grinder pumps, you understand that it's not a fun thing to have in your yard, but we are able to update those grinder pumps, and also we're going to improve that road with this grant money. So we're excited that we're able to start seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. If you're looking around town, it's spring, so we are, the Public Works Department is getting ready to mulch downtown area at the depot, the park area, up on City Square and Bell Avenue and so forth. So we're partnering with the DDA to do some more beautification plants and so forth, to just to bring good, fresh liveliness to the downtown area. So we're excited about that. I know that they've been working on Chief Hill's building today. cleaning up some rotten wood on the trim and stuff. So we are really trying to get a lot of things done before our spring festival. So if you see stuff around town that needs to be done, by all means, give me a call, and I'll create a work order, and we'll get that fixed. In my report, does many people go online and get the packet? Well, good. If you'll look at my report, I'm trying to update everything that we do in capital improvement projects. This gives us the project, the estimated cost, if we have a grant that's included on that project, the estimated completion date, and where it's coming from, the funding that it's coming from. So if you can look at that, it just shows you how busy the city of Houston is, and we are so thankful for all of our staff members that are working so hard on these projects. We have and I said this last month, but we have a new building inspector, and he's great. He's wonderful. He had just this month for March 2024, he had 113 total permits issued, and he had 500, or I guess from January to now, 521 inspections completed, 83% passed. So he's great for the city of Houston. So if you want to come by and meet him, he would love to meet you. He's a great asset to the city. For the police department, they have had since the 1st of January, they've had 640 incident numbers since January 1st, and they wrote 44 citations in the month of March. This time last month, we had 4 police officers. We actually lost 1, and so we have 3. And so so you'll see them out, and in just a few minutes when we go to our agenda, there's a portion about the agenda that's for the police department. And this is going to be a great thing for the police department, but I'm not going to share it just yet. But it will keep them on the road and more efficient for the city of Houston. In the water department, I know everybody's excited about getting the north tank right across from the fire department, that big tank that it's been sitting there for a while, up and running 100%, but we've been waiting on a booster pump, and that should be, we've been actually waiting on, I think, a generator for that, and it's been on back order, but that is moving, and we should have that up and active by the end of the year. And when we get that done, that also is the ending puzzle piece for the north tank, so we can get that moving, and you'll really see a difference in the pressure in the water. So we're excited about that. And Mayor, I believe that's all that I have to update.
Okay. Ab, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Okay, I hope you guys like the reports monthly, because it shows that we just don't work on what's on the agenda items. So we do quite a bit of work here. Okay, let's go right into old business, and I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Jerry White. This is our second reading of these ordinances, and I'm talking, items 1, 2, and 3 we'll have Jerry White talk about together. Please, Jerry.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. The first item is a code amendment to create the Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Houston. This is a second reading, as you said, and we did make some changes to the first one. We went from 5 members to 7 members now, and that necessitated 2 other changes. One is the staggering of the membership appointees from 2 for a 1-year term, 2 for a 2-year term, and 3 for a 3-year term. And then it also changed the total quorum from 3 to 4 members. So those are the changes to item number 1. There have been no changes to item 2 and item 3. Number 2 is the subdivision ordinance, and basically what it does is it will write the Planning Commission back in with a role with regard to preliminary plats and also any variances that are asked for from the subdivision code. The Planning Commission would make a recommendation. Those are still coming to the City Council for final action. Then the third matter is a zoning ordinance amendment, and this writes the Planning Commission into the processes for amendments to the text of the zoning ordinance, amendments to the official zoning map, any conditional uses, and also any variances to the zoning ordinance. The Planning and Zoning Commission would have a advisory role only, but they would hold public hearings and make recommendations on all of those matters. Staff recommendation is for approval of the second reading.
Council, any questions for Dr. Jerry? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jerry. We'll go ahead and go into, new business, item number 1, which is the Planning and Zoning Commission members and terms. I see a couple of you are here, and I'm really happy that you're here. So I'd like to, in fact, if I say your name, go ahead and stand up so the rest of the community could, get to know you. So term through 2025, and let me just explain that really quick. Whatever day or whatever day and month you get sworn in, it'll be a year from that in 2025. So for those terms, it will be Mr. Scott Butler, if you don't mind standing up. Thank you, Scott. And also Brenda Stokes, she is not here. The term through 2026 will be Ace Ottavio, he is here. Thank you, Ace. And Jeffrey Horney, who is also here. Thank you, and welcome aboard. Well, we haven't voted you in yet, so I'll say that. I'll say that in April. And the term through 2027 is Chuck Janitis, who is not here, Christine Moody, who is not here, and Tom Vavilo, who is also not here. So welcome aboard come April 30th for those folks. Item number 2 on the new business is the schedule. It will be the last Wednesday of the month, with the exception of 2 months, November and December, and that's due to the holidays. So the schedule is in here. What did I say? The 4th. Thank you for that correction. The 4th Wednesday of the month, with the exception of November and December. Any questions, council? Okay, let's see. New business number 3, recommendation to initiate zoning ordinance. This is I'm going to turn over to Dr. Jerry White, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. At the retreat that the city council had, there was discussion about the city's planned unit development and zoning district, and there is concern that it's open-ended and it allows applicants to propose things that we're not necessarily all that happy with. And so we're looking at, we don't have anything written yet, but we're asking the council on April 30th to vote to initiate a change to the zoning ordinance. We will bring that back to you. We will bring it to the Planning Commission also, because it will be comprised by then. And this will be, the intent is to close some things, avoid the biggest abuses that we may have seen, and try and make it a better outcome, a better product as a result of the PUD zoning. So that's the idea behind it.
Great.
Oh, let me add, Mayor, we just talked about the Planning Commission meeting. I wanted to note that my memos are incorrect with regard to the date. They refer to a May 29th Planning Commission date, and that was a 5th Monday. I did think it was the last Monday, the last Wednesday of the month, but it turns out it's the 4th. And so just to correct my memo, that meeting, the first meeting of the Planning Commission is scheduled for May 22nd.
Oh, it is 22nd, not 29th.
Yeah, and we have enough time to advertise for that, so everything's fine there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I'm pretty sure when I made the phone calls, I said the 29th. So thank you for correcting that. Okay, Dr. Jerry, can you also talk about new business item number 4, and when you get done with that one, also number 5?
Sure will.
Thank you.
These are also zoning ordinance amendments, and item number 4, it has to do with the mixed-use zoning district. That was created, I think it was about 2018 or so, maybe 2019. And there's some issues about how that works when we have multiple properties. And so we're going to study that and try and correct some of the issues that we see of just not addressing full aspects of development once it's, for example, if it's split into residential and commercial like what we have up here at Creekside Village. It wasn't all that clear how the open space worked and things like that. So we're just, shouldn't be a big, huge deal. We also may or may not recommend that we inactivate it where you cannot zone to that. But if we can make all the corrections to it, then we won't need to do that. But we'll bring you back a reasoned proposal for that, and we'll have the benefit of the Planning and Zoning Commission also to review it and take a look, and we'll bring you back something that we'll all be happy with.
Great.
And then the other item you asked that I mentioned it, let me see. We have had, there's been some concern expressed on the part of the City Council that we have zoned projects conditional, but there's no time frame associated with that. In other words, the zoning does not expire, and zoning does not normally expire. The clock cannot change the zoning. But there's thought that we need to maybe put in place something that would allow the council to reconsider a zoning that was conditionally approved and perhaps sunset it. And I say that very carefully in the sense that, again, what probably the best we would be able to do is say if a certain amount of time goes by on a zoning matter that's been on the books for, say, 2 years or 4 years, and then nothing has happened, then what we could do, we can't say it automatically reverts back to something else, but what we can do is say if certain conditions are met, then the zoning administrator or the city generally can initiate a request to change the zoning back, and then you would go through the zoning procedures law. You would notify the applicant for due process. Of course, they would be really interested in seeing what you had to say about their zoning matter.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be, there'd have to be due process. But this is what we're thinking about. It's not written yet, but again, we'll give it some thought. We'll have the benefit of the Planning Commission to weigh in on it, and we hope to bring you something that fits what your expectations are.
That's great. Thank you for initiating that.
You're welcome.
May I ask a question on that, please?
Of course.
Will the properties that we currently have be grandfathered in on that, or will it just be for future properties?
That's a great question. First thought would be that we're not going to try and apply things retroactively, but then again, I see some potential. We probably have to have some discussions with the city attorney about whether they're comfortable doing that.
I think they'd be grandfathered. Okay, thank you.
Council, any other questions on that one? Okay, new business, item number 6, this is notice of award of CMAR to Reeves Young. Jerry Hood, could I ask you to speak to this one, please?
Yes, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. As you know, you have authorized the EMI to work with you and your staff over the last 3 years on a comprehensive expansion of the wastewater treatment facility. We have 2 phases. The first phase will take the existing plant from 500,000 gallons per day to 950,000 gallons per day. The next phase would take it all the way to 2.0 million gallons per day. This first phase, all the front-end documents have been approved by Georgia EPD. Matter of fact, they've actually approved the design development report for both phases. You have completed plans and specifications. We've advertised the project for CMAR participation by qualified contractors, CMAR being construction manager at risk type construction. This is your third CMAR type award. You received bids in your package. We have a schedule of we only had two proposals on the project. You assigned a review committee to review the two contractors. There's a score sheet there. The committee is recommending the award to Reeves Young of Sugar Hill, Georgia. They're currently working in a good bit in the area. They were actually doing the wastewater plant right next door in Brazelton, and have very good background, plenty of resources. We see no reason not to award the contract to Reeves Young.
Any questions from council? No. Okay, perfect, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Item number, 7, statewide mutual aid agreement. Jennifer, can I have you speak to this?
Yes, ma'am. This is a statewide mutual and aid assistant. This is from, this is basically saying that we are partnering with our county to partner with the state. So if there's any kind of national or state emergencies, that they're just asking for us to give, that we are going to partner with them, and who are the ideal partners in our city that will be the contact, which would be me and the chief. If there is any kind of issues, storm-related or so forth, that we would take care of everything for the city.
And you do this annually?
Yes.
Any questions, council? Okay. Okay, new business item number 8, audio visual quotes for community center sound system. I'm just gonna start that off and then pass it over to Jennifer. We received quite a few, comments after the, GDOT meeting here. The room was full. In fact, it was out the door. And the folks via YouTube really couldn't hear very well. We couldn't pass a mic around. And, anyway, so it was something that we needed to take time to pay attention to. So with that, Jennifer has, asked herself and her team to go out and get some quotes. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, ma'am. So we are not tech savvy, our team. So we did ask for 3 professionals to come in here, and we just said, what would you think? Here's our complaints. What would you do to enhance this? And so 3 different professionals that are in audio and video gave us quotes of what they think. One of the common denominators was Comcast. We do have Wi-Fi in the building. One thing we were having issues is keeping our YouTube, the live stream, constantly going without having delays. They all said the same thing, which was we've given, when we give out our Wi-Fi password, it bogs down the speed of the Wi-Fi, so we changed the password on that. Also, since we've moved into this building, we've had Comcast in the old City Hall at 79 City Square, where the police department is now. But when we moved over here, Comcast is still trying to go through the permitting system or the process with GDOT. And we do not have 100% Comcast in this building. We are actually working off of the police departments. Mm-hmm. So that is a common denominator of why speed with our internet is not up to par 100%. So we've gotten that pretty much fixed as far as changing the password, but we're still waiting on Comcast, GDOT, and I'm not really sure how long of that's going to take them. But we are going to ask them to come and discuss their findings. Other than that, of what we can do to enhance our audio and visual. So they will hopefully be with us. All 3 will be here on the 30th, hopefully. We've got to make that connection with them.
Yeah. So if anybody out there is an audio visual pro, yes,
Help us.
help us, because we can look at the quote, at least I can look at the quote, and I've heard others say it, great, but what does it really mean? Here's what I want. One of the things that I heard mostly about the GDOT is the cameras right now, it's right there, it's looking at us. What the people on YouTube can't see is what we've got on our screens. And so, you know, the screen or us, you know, it's kind of 50-50. You kind of want to look at both. So we got to figure that out as well. So, if you know any experts in that area, please have them reach out to us.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple with you, Jennifer. You could
Sure.
update everybody on the, pardon me, the update to the two personnel policies, number 9 and 10 on your agenda.
Yes, ma'am. So, as we grow, we are, I wouldn't say constantly, but we are, every now and then, you'll see us do an amendment to our personnel policy based on what our needs are. And as we grow, it will change. Right now, we're trying to get all of our procedures and policies up to date. And as y'all know, the mayor and council create the procedures and policies. I enforce the procedures and policies. So this is definitely a group effort or a team effort with the mayor involved and the council. On this one, it's going to be Section 12.4, cell phones. The City of Houston gives each full-time employee a $30 cell phone once a month cost on the first paycheck of each month. If an employee has a city-given work phone, then they do not get the $30. So that is that one policy.
And that's been a policy, it was just never documented, just so you know. So we didn't add it as a new policy, and I just wanted it documented, that's all.
Yes, correct.
How many city cell phones do we have?
Right now, we have two. Our building inspector has one, and Mr. Joe Hayes has one as well.
So everybody's using their personal.
Everybody uses their personal. Item number, I'm sorry, did you want me to go ahead and go to item number 10?
I just wanted to make one more thing clear, just so you know, I mean, total transparency here. Mayor and council, that does not apply to. That is only,
Full-time.
full-time, thank you, I was searching for that word, full-time staff, so that's Jennifer, Jen, Tiffany, those folks. That does not apply to us, just so you know.
You know that me and the mayor spend a lot of time together when we can finish each other's sentences. The next policy is 12.13.7. It's a take-home vehicle. This is another one that has been in place for many years, but it was not updated in the personnel policy. The city manager has the authority to determine which employees will be issued a take-home vehicle, except for the public safety department, which are assigned vehicles that they all take home. Number 2, take-home vehicles are not to be used for personal use and are to be driven only for city-related business. Number 3, any employee issued to take a take-home vehicle must live within 30 miles of the city limits. And just so everybody knows, I only allow department heads to have vehicles that are taken home.
Any questions, council? Great. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's talk about new business items 11 and 12.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me know when you want me to come in.
Okay. So this has been something that has been, it is a want, but it's mostly a need for the police department. Right now, if you see them in the office or you see the vehicles here, it's because when they issue tickets, citations, they have to come back to the office to do the reports. So, so that takes them off the road in the police department, where we're really wanting them to be out in the community, not to write tickets per se, but to be a service to the community. If you have not seen them, let us know. We want to be out there servicing you, being in your neighborhood, and taking care of your needs. So to do that, me and the Chief Hill got together, and we came up with, yes, it is time that we get computers in, our police cars. Getting them into the police cars, will give them the ability to read tags, enter reports, and also communicate with other agencies. So we feel like this is something that is needed. And Chief, Hill, I'll, chime in, if you have anything to add that I'm missing.
So like she said, as of right now, I'm not somebody to get up on this, I know y'all can hear me people hold the game. As of right now, anything we do, we have to come back to the office. We take any type of report, accident report, miscellaneous report, anything, we have to come back to the office and physically do it on the computer. So that takes away from, being we're down to 3 people, that takes away the time from the community where we should be out there patrolling. And, if we can sit there and do it in our car or truck, we're out in the community doing it, sitting there watching your houses instead of up here in the building where we can't see anything. Y'all know I'm back there in the dungeon, so I can't see out at all except for one little old window. So that, number one, it allows us to be outside and do it. Number two, with these mobile data terminals, we can run our own tags. So every police department in Jackson County is on one radio frequency right now. So if Commerce is talking, Jefferson's talking, we may not get out on the radio for a couple minutes, and dispatch has to run our tags over the radio. So with these terminals, we just type the tag in, it automatically does it for us. We don't have to wait for dispatch, the radio traffic to clear up, and it alerts the other officers working. Say if somebody was wanted, they can automatically come to us without us having to get on the radio and say that. Ace asked a minute ago, the printers, where do they come into play? So if you've ever had a wreck, and that's how I met Scott Corder, his wife had a wreck. If you've ever had a wreck, usually we tell you, all right, 3 to 5 business days, you got to come get the copy of the report. Well, with a mobile data terminal in the vehicles and those printers, we can print you off the insurance information of everybody involved right then. We won't print the whole report, but it'll still be the information that you can go and get the insurance process started without having to wait 3 to 5 business days. It also allows us to print our citations right then and not handwrite them. To where a traffic stop may take 15 minutes, we can do it in, say, 5, because it automatically uploads the driver's license, automatically uploads the tags. It does everything for us, prints it out, and you have the violator sign the copy of the citation, and you're done. So mobile data terminals are not anything new. We just don't have them here. I try and be very fruitful with the city's money. This year, we were supposed to pay for the radios that the county bought, and they wound up costing significantly less than what I had budgeted for. So we want to take this money and apply it toward the computers that we desperately need to keep people out on the road.
Thank you.
That was very good, thank you.
So, Mayor and Council, the total upfront cost for the printers, the GPS, the citation paper, vehicle mounts for each vehicle, installation and training is a total of $6,495, and that is just a one-time fee. The costly monthly fee will be $450, and that's for the i3 service and the hotspot service from Verizon. The $450 is to cover 5 police officers.
5 computers.
Also, we do want to we want to recognize the city of Jefferson. The city of Jefferson and the chief from Jefferson actually donated the computers to us. So that really saved us some money, and we were so very thankful for them.
Oh. Are you okay there, Chief? Everybody's waiting, tell us. Okay, so that's it for items 11 and 12. I'm gonna turn it over to our city attorney, Ab.
If anyone wants to address the mayor and council this evening, please raise your hand and I'll call you up. All right, come on up. If you'll approach the microphone, state your name, your address, whether you're a resident of the city of Houston, you'll have up to 5 minutes.
Comment and question. A.J. Savito, 100 South Court. I strongly support the upgrade automation for the police department. employees who take vehicles home, what increased liability does the city get, and are we indemnified for any of that, and what is the financial risk to the city as a whole?
I don't know what you mean by indemnified, but, the city enjoys, sovereign immunity. We can only be sued up to the extent that we have insurance coverage, so, I think it's a very acceptable risk. We do maintain adequate insurance coverage to, both protect the city and its resources, as well as folks who might encounter a bad situation with an employee. We want everybody to be protected, so, it's a risk that I think most cities and counties find extremely tolerable. It's a common practice, and I think, part of the, thought process behind city vehicles going home is, you have, some branding. Don't we have branding on our vehicles? So you see a city presence, throughout the community, which I think is good, so, I would not consider it to be some unusual risk or some unacceptable risk. But that's just my opinion. Anybody else? All right, then I will shut it down and turn back over to you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
And, we do need an executive session I would ask for one for litigation and for real estate.
Yes, thank you. So is there a motion for us to go into, executive?
I'll make a motion.
To go into executive? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of going into executive? Thank you. Before we get up, I'd ask you all to please stay in your seats while we exit the room, okay? Thank you.
That's not personal use. I didn't have to get back in. Oh, yeah, we will.
What was going on about 450?
When we went around, yeah, there's a girl, up there behind the A5 meeting. Robinson didn't have anybody to go.
Yeah, I thought them would come later.
Yeah, everybody, okay.
I served on it.
I don't even know if they ever took a call. You have to go to
There was a jump, there were units and everything else that was in traffic. There was some line for the weekend.
Oh, I didn't see the air.
Yeah. You know right behind, you know right behind the biggest. So I know that way. But they were all lit with lights. There was like 6 patrol districts. Jefferson. There might have been something. I think I messed around. But that's okay.
No, they didn't really call us.
Anyway,